Hey everybody, Alex Miller at Capnion here. There's an incident in the news today I thought I shouldn't let pass without comment involving security camera Wyze and a pretty weird incident where suddenly all these users could see into the other users' homes for a minute. So I'm going to give the details of that in a minute. I'm going to talk some generalities first. This is a great anecdote for how classic it is. I think it illustrates pretty well some structural things about data privacy and cybersecurity and how software is written that it's kind of dry tinder for people's privacy to go to hell very quickly. And similar stuff is going to happen again. So you usually think about it, not to say that you shouldn't have a camera, but stuff happens. I love, in a sort of détournement, ironic kind of way, this old saying, it's kind of passe now, data is the new oil. And when this term was coined, it was kind of saying it's just free money you can just pick up. Isn't that great? But I think it's a very good metaphor more broadly. Oil is this thing that it's useful, but then if you're too careless pumping it around through lots of pipes, it inevitably leaks out. And when it leaks out, it's toxic waste. And it's really hard to make a perfect pipeline that's never going to have a problem. It's not really the way the world works. So how's this related to this Wyze thing? Wyze, I believe, makes a security camera that goes in your house and you can look at it over the internet. See what, so if you're on vacation, you can look at footage of your living room and rest assured that your cat hasn't destroyed your TV and you haven't been robbed. So that's nice. It exfiltrates video data from your house to somewhere, and then it sends data from that somewhere back to other places. So the story is the people that make the software that powers this thing integrated a new library, software library from a third party, and because of some of the fine details, it was true very briefly that 13,000 users of the service could all look into each other's houses. So that's pretty freaky if you're someone that likes to walk around naked in your living room. Very briefly, 13,000 people had a live feed of that, and you didn't get any warnings. That's a real drag. This is a very common kind of story, and if you work with software, you might know what I mean. The software is kind of duct taped together in a sense. No one person quite knows what's in it, and that you use a library that uses a library that uses some other library. So there's huge amounts of code in any given piece of software that the creators of that software did not directly write. And there's a whole lot of incidents. I think the log4j.s was a really interesting one a little while ago, if you remember that, where this is just a tough situation. People can't really provide perfect quality control. So people have all this software that they don't quite know what's in it, and it just fuels stuff glitching. On the topic of stuff glitching, going back to data is the new oil, just a lot of sensitive data is being moved around. Video is leaving your house, it's going somewhere. That somewhere, once again, is sending data out so you can look at it over the internet. And this creates a situation where software has to work just right. And if it doesn't work just right, and there's, once again, a lot of kind of dry tinder around for occasional hiccups, the pipes are there for weird oil spills to happen, essentially. This kind of stuff happens all the time. I know some people love these security camera services. There's always going to be a risk there, I think, in the foreseeable future of pretty severe violations of privacy. And their explanation was a little bit BS-y about exactly what happens, and I think they're in big trouble. I don't know how much blame they should take, but it's a structural problem. It could happen to anybody. The circumstances are there. If you send video out of your house to a third party, and that third party has essentially an insanely complicated filing cabinet of video that they're sending back out to other people to watch, sets the stage for this kind of stuff to happen. And it's something you should consider if you're privacy conscious and you're interested in these services. So this is a great story to read. It's going to happen again, and if you look for it, it happens on the reg.